Oh, hey, what do you know, folks? Welcome back to another episode of your favorite gaming podcast, the Roll for Next podcast. My name is Connor.
Woo! My name is Ian.
And holy shit, do we have stuff to talk about today? Sorry,
So many things.
Ian.
What?
But we have
I just
some.
realized.
Yeah,
Dang it.
it's all on you. I'm sorry. I'm trying. But something else that's trying segues. Oh yeah, wait, hold up.
No. I got it. You and I are pretty much in sync today, I think.
Yeah, sweet. So World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft, man.
World of Warcraft has been the love and bane of my life for umpteenth years.
Yeah, you while not being quite a day one player, you are virtually a day one player. You've been playing it since the game first came
Yeah,
out.
pretty much since launch, yeah.
Which hey, it's been a ride.
Has been. There have been many ups and downs with this company, with Blizzard. But hopefully we are making and turning around about Dragonflight. Their most recent expansion has been very entertaining to play. I have found myself going back more and more as I've been playing. The mechanics were really cool. The new flight mechanics are super cool. The raids are really cool. The cinematics are gorgeous. And so we actually are getting our last Dragonflight update. We actually just got that this past Tuesday. What was Tuesday's date?
Tuesday's date
was
the 3rd or the 4th. I think.
My thing. There we go. It was the 7th.
I was so close.
You were so close, but so far away. It's kind of nuts. But yeah, so this update dropped on the 7th. It is the last update in the World of Warcraft Dragonflight expansion, which is super cool. There's not too much left to do. I haven't played it yet. We're gonna play it after this. We're gonna do the quest line after this. Apparently, it's really supposed to set up the next expansion, the storyline for the next expansion, which the next expansion is technically 3 expansions.
Which, can I just say, is going to be nutty because I feel like they're setting up for some like Avengers Infinity War type shit for
That's
World
what
of Warcraft.
I'm thinking too. Is kind of like this is a moment. This is a very big turning point for the company. They have done their constituents, if you will, wrong for quite some time. Dragonflight was a breath of fresh air. It felt like old World of Warcraft again. Like, not so much old World of Warcraft, but like it brought back the essence of fun while playing. I think there are things that need to be fixed. I do think we're going to have a hard reset coming with the war within. I think we possibly might get sent back down to 50.
Which is fine. I mean,
which is great. I think the reset would be fantastic. I think they've been exploring a bunch of new mechanics with the classic WoW and the Season of Discovery. All of these different things have been being tested on these other portions of the game, and I'm hoping that maybe little bits and pieces might come in to retail WoW and help to bolster that excitement again about playing. One of my biggest turnoffs on the game is how people can min-max the absolute heck out of the game. People are very quick to get to the highest levels and highest item levels, and so I think we need a reset. I think we need something to happen where it turns it into a different, almost like it turns it into a different game.
Yeah, I think a reset.
I don't want the essence of the game to change at all.
I only want them to build off of what they did well in Dragonflight and add new things to make it better as well, right? But the other thing that I think is cool that they could be doing is they have an opportunity here across the next, 3 parts of this expansion to really kind of bring all of the storylines that have happened so far kind of to a head at the same time together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think we've gotten that from a couple of the trailers of the world. Really, just the only one trailer that we got back at BlizzCon. Uh, but before we get the War Within, we actually are getting something really cool, in my opinion. It's coming up this next week. This is actually dropping on next Thursday, so you guys will actually hear the podcast before this comes out, which is kind of lit.
Hell
Uh,
yeah. That
Woohoo!
happens
We're
like
ahead of the
once in a
curve
blue
now.
moon.
We're ahead of the curve. Shit. It happened again. Sorry. But Mists of Pandaria remix is coming on Thursday, May 16th. Uh, it's going to be a cool, fast-paced adventure. Did you play Mists?
I did not play Mists at
So
all.
Mist was definitely one of the best expansions story-wise in
Okay.
World of Warcraft history. I would put it right up there with like Cataclysm, Wrath of the Lich King. Like those are some of the big heavy hitters. Mists of Pandaria is just as amazing.
Yeah.
So this is going to be like an accelerated adventure, as well as being kind of remixed to be. Oh, I guess they're gonna maybe try to tie it towards like what's going on, possibly. I don't really know, but
I
I
think it'd be
know that
so cool if they
it's
did.
not a carbon copy. I know that
Gotcha.
it's literally named Mists of Pandaria remixed,
Okay.
and they
I mean,
have
hey.
said it's gonna be like it's an all new type of adventure type thing. But so what you'll be able to do is you can start a new character at level 10, and the whole fast paced adventure will take you up to level 70, which is kind
Oh,
of cool.
geez. Yeah. That's a really cool
Really cool.
concept because then you don't have to grind for months and months and months to get up to 70 normally.
Well, so what it does is I think it bridges the gap between the end of Dragonflight and them having to keep trying to claw for more content within that story,
Yeah.
and puts you back at level 10 and has you grind towards 70 by the time you get to War Within. I mean, this could give you, I mean, if the characters transfer over, this gives people a chance to just start over and,
Yeah.
really
And
get into a new main character almost, which I
yeah.
might even explore doing because this sounds really cool.
How many characters do you have now?
I
I
have
don't know.
quite a few. I have 4 or 5 level 70s
Jesus Christ.
right now, but I mainly only play my warrior and sometimes I play my priest. But I would love
Gotcha.
to like actually learn and go through playing something uh, within the realm.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Um, but no, yeah, I think that they're actually doing the right thing here, and I think that they're setting themselves up for success, which is not something that I think that they've done in a long time. Yeah, no, I think that this will greatly benefit them. I think it'll greatly benefit the game. I think doing an expansion in this way, like having 3 parts within one, I think is another very interesting way to look at doing kind of these World of Warcraft expansions just because we go so long without getting new content that breaking it up almost into 3 parts, while it may not be feasible for every expansion, I think is good because it'll allow players to periodically continue to get fresh new content that also furthers the story, which I think is not something that they've been able to successfully do over a sustained period, at least in a while.
Yeah, and I think again the biggest thing is that again, if it doesn't tie into the bigger story, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I think it's just cool because you're going back to a time where World of Warcraft was almost at its one of its peaks, and playing through this adventure in more of a fast-paced environment, not having to worry about some of that filler content that they had to throw in there at the time, and
Yeah,
really just being able to grind from level 10 to level 70 before the new expansions comes out, I think is such a cool concept. And it I hope it almost feels like a new game, like I said.
well, I think they're already kind of walking that line because with Dragonflight we got new flying mechanics which we haven't gotten in 20 years. You know what I mean? So the fact that they're willing to kind of take that big of a leap and change a system and a kind of game mechanic that drastically, I think will means that they're willing to do it with other things. And I would be really interested to see at what mechanic they greatly upgraded next for the War Within.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. The other really cool thing is that this is not a new expansion. So you do not need to purchase anything for this. This is a
Which is so
free
nice.
adventure.
Yeah.
As long as you have a World of Warcraft subscription or Game Time, because you can pre-purchase all of those little Game Time coin things.
Yep.
As long as you have one of those, you can play the Mists of Pandaria remixed adventure, which is going to be really cool. This is all. So, World Within. Recap real quick. We're getting Mists of Pandaria remix on the 16th, which is going to take us all the way to the fall, where the War Within will drop its first of the 3 expansions, again, coming this fall.
Looking forward to it, man.
Something else coming this fall.
What else is coming this fall?
The new season of Vox Machina.
Finally.
So very excited, and it is
The
just
TV
time.
show that got Connor into D. For those that don't know, Vox Machina is very special to me because it is the show that essentially got Connor into D&D.
This show is fantastic. If you want an adventure action, like just awesomeness adventure, watch this show. When you think something, as somebody who watches a lot of movies and TV, I typically find myself able to predict what's going to happen. Every single time I thought I knew what was going to happen, I was completely wrong.
Welcome to Matthew Mercer's storytelling.
It was amazing. It was incredible. And the fact that we are getting season 3 this fall on Prime Video is going to be amazing. I'm hoping, very much hoping, that we are getting all of the episodes all at once so we can binge watch.
But it's Amazon, so most likely.
That's what I'm hoping for. Especially after the success that Fallout has gotten.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can't wait. So this announcement came on X from the Critical Role CEO Travis Willingham just the other day that the season 3 of this amazing adventure is coming to Prime Video this fall. No official date yet, though.
Which is fair. How long has it been since we got season 2? It's been a year or two, I think.
It's been a little bit. I know that it's definitely been a year or two.
Yeah. Well, they're also working on the Mighty Nine show, which I'm personally very excited for because that was my first campaign with Critical Role and like what I watched kind of on YouTube and kind of followed the story. So like that one's very special to me. I think that you'll very much enjoy the Mighty Nine as well, Connor. But I think Vox Machina is where it's at for you.
The biggest thing for me and the reason why I am just so like I haven't just dove straight into like Critical Role is just all of I don't feel like sitting through a 6-hour
which
session video,
which is fair.
which is totally fair. So, I mean, that being said, Critical Role is launching their new subscription service, Beacon TV.
Yes.
So I've heard a couple things about this, and one of the things that subscribers to Beacon TV get is called Critical Role Abridged,
Which
and
is very cool.
very, very cool. So somebody like me who really wants to get into this and doesn't really want to listen to a 6-hour podcast with all the not stupid, but like all the filler, all the like the table talk and like all that type of stuff, who just wants the story, the action, the dialogue, the essence of everything.
Yep.
That's what you get with Critical Role Abridged. It's all of the campaigns with all of the fat taken out, just the dialogue, the action, the story, the emotion. I think that's cool.
I think that's so cool. And honestly, from what it sounds like Beacon TV is going to be, are you familiar at all with Dropout TV?
Like the old College Humor cast?
Yeah. So basically, yes, they made their own streaming service called Dropout. It's all the old College Humor guys. And it's also the home for Dimension 20, which is like the easier to watch. It's so if
I
Critical
have
Role,
seen a few of their videos as well.
if Critical Role is Lord of the Rings, Dimension 20 is Harry Potter. It's shorter, it's easier to absorb, and it's the same quality.
Savage. Attack that fandom. You go for it. Call them
No, no.
stupid.
I'm not. I'm not. What I mean by that is
Harry Potter is a totally just dumbed down Lord of the Rings. That's what you're saying.
No. What I'm saying is
I'm
that
trying to dig you into
Lord
a
of the
hole.
Rings, just like Critical Role, is very dense. It's very thick. It's a lot of lore. It's a lot of story, and they're 4 fucking hour episodes. Dang it.
Dang it. 1719 for you.
Whereas Dimension 20, the longest episode I think is only an hour and a half, and they break it down so it goes story episode, fighting episode, story episode, fighting episode. It's a much easier path to follow.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
But no, so I think that what they'll do with Beacon is something similar that they've done with Dropout, and it'll allow them to, be like eligible for Emmys outside of their animated shows. It'll allow them to like.
I think this could be the start of something very big. I think Critical Role and Beacon, I think that's just kind of the them dipping their toes in the water in this sort of corporate market, almost. I think we're gonna see a merging of the two there, and I think if that goes well enough, I think you see Critical Role, and I'm not saying Dimension 20 dissolves. I'm saying they just become a part of Beacon TV as like a channel.
Yeah. It'll be
But
But
here's what I think it's coming to is I think that Critical Role and Dimension 20, if they kind of joined forces here, they could take over Wizards of the Coast.
They could. They certainly could. It'll be interesting to see how everything ages, though. And the reason why I say that is Dropout just got nominated for their first Emmy with their show Game Changer. And so
love Game Changer. Love the highlights from that show.
Oh God. It's so good. It's so good. And so I think if that goes well, so Dimension 20 is currently kind of a subject, kind of like that, it's its own little channel on Dropout. So I think if the Emmy train keeps rolling for Dropout, I think D20 will stay there, but it'll be interesting to see because.
So I'm thinking Dropout as a whole. Like I'm not saying D20.
Everything.
I'm thinking that something like I'm not saying like they all go under the Beacon TV umbrella. Maybe they all go under the Dropout umbrella. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to limit it or discredit what they're doing over there.
Oh no,
they're doing fantastic.
Yeah.
But I think if they come together, we get such a cool product.
Well, if they come together, what we get is we get three of the most popular and brilliant D&D minds all in one spot, because it's Brennan Lee Mulligan from D20, it's Matt Mercer from Critical Role, and it's Spencer Stark from Darrington Press. Spencer Stark is the guy that creates, like, he wrote Candela Obscura. He had created that game with Taliesin. Um, Dragonheart, I think, is another one that Spencer Stark wrote. Um, so they're unbelievable game designers as well as storytellers. So to kind of get the two merged would be unbelievable. The other issue is people are losing faith in Wizards of the Coast because they're doing D&D 1 or 1 D&D instead of doing the 6th edition. Is they're making it a subscription service that just kind of end all be all kind of stops there, which, take it or leave it. I mean, some people enjoy that stuff, some people necessarily don't. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens, because the people that have made D&D popular again aren't in control of D&D, which
Eh.
which
What they're coming out with their, like you said, I think you already said this. They're coming out with their own game.
yeah, Critical Role is, yeah,
So,
which
I mean, I
which
think
separates
that
them
would be
further.
really cool.
But Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro and all the current D&D stakeholders have a new stage show playing right now in New York, and so that's doing very well. And so it's this weird dichotomy of um where do the fans kind of gravitate to the most. Right now it's primarily D20 and Critical Role, but if this stage show, 20-sided tavern, continues to do well and continues to grow and expand and whatever, that also could become kind of a mecca for people.
Wow. Well, speaking of a mecca of people and things that people migrate to, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, the thing that I know better than my entire friend group, because I'm the only one who has the brain power for it. Not
Take it
in a bad
away,
way.
man. Take it away. Let's
Uh
hear we got some great news
We got
this
some great
week.
news. So first off, we're already getting new Lord of the Rings content later this year. We're getting an animated movie later this year called War of the Rohirrim, and it's going to tell the Helm Hammerhand story, which is going to be very cool. Because it's animated, not sure what whatever, but we'll see.
We've seen
Um,
some really bad, some really bad and some really good animation come out about
yeah.
on shows or fandoms that we all know and love. So, I mean, I'm really rooting for this one to succeed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The main reason why I'm nervous is because I don't know who directed it. I don't know who wrote it, but I know that it wasn't Peter Jackson. And now Peter Jackson is someone that got a lot of crap for what he did with the Hobbit movies. I've been one of those people that have been very vocal about it,
I
who
liked the Hobbit movies.
Oh, sure, absolutely. The where he shot himself in the foot, though, at least with the fan base, is it's not as true to the books as the Lord of the Rings was, and he did the same thing that George Lucas did, where he made this masterpiece largely practical, and then he made another trilogy of movies and used almost no practical things.
I mean, that's totally fair.
And
That's
I get it.
that's fair.
And I get it. It's a lot of money to do things practical. But when your legacy goes down as the person who has made the best, now if this is actually true, that could be up for debate, but at least for the Lord of the Rings fans, this is how we feel. You are the person that made the best fantasy book to screen crossover ever, right? Sure, it's not a 1-for-1, because if you did a 1-for-1, the movie would be 8 hours long.
Very true.
but
And
you
I
made
think
the
those
best.
exist though.
Well, the extended editions are only 4 hours at the shortest, I think.
There's so many different versions of those movies.
But what I will say is the theatrical release, the original cut, in like for the theaters, that's only like 2.5 hours long, is the canon movies. Those are the movies that Peter Jackson says you should watch. The extendeds are just for the insane fans who want all the content. But anyway, sorry, we are sidetracking so hard right now. Basically, New Line
Yeah, new
and Warner
movie.
Bros. And what was that?
I said, "Oh yeah, new movie."
Yeah. New Line and Warner Bros. Announced the other day that we are getting 3 new Lord of the Rings movies. They are going to be stories that have not been told yet, which is good because when I saw it, I was like, oh no, are they redoing the Lord of the Rings movies? Which you
Oh
should
my god,
never do
your
that.
heart would have stopped.
They need to at least wait another 40 years before they do that.
Another 40 years is
No,
nuts. I
no,
love it though.
I'm
Yeah, you're
serious. Like,
right though.
like you
You
need
that
most
this
of the
whole generation needs to die off. Like the whole fan base needs to die off before you do that.
maybe not the fan base, but like Peter Jackson needs to go. Like most of the OG cast needs to go. Like for no other reason than you cast it so and you wrote it so perfectly the first time. If you're gonna do it a second time, it needs to be fresh. It needs to be new. It needs to be not a question of why are you doing this. But anyway, we're getting 3 new movies. The first one, all 3 movies are going to be produced, not directed, by Peter Jackson, Fran Walsh, and Philippa Boyens, which is first off unbelievably exciting that they're coming back and doing this whole thing again. The first movie is going to be called, or it's tentatively called, The Hunt for Gollum. Not sure where it's set, when it's set, what the exact story is
Yeah, what
going to
the
be,
heck, man? What does that
but
mean?
it's going to be starring
The
and
Hunt for
directed by Andy
Gollum.
Serkis, who we love as a Star Wars and just general
We do love.
acting
We love Andy.
channel. We do love Andy Serkis, but my main theory is that it's going to take place in the 10-year gap between when Frodo first gets the ring and when Gandalf tells him that the ring is bad. Because what they don't do in the movies is they don't tell you that Gandalf literally fucks off. There's no other way to say it. Where that he just fucks off for literally 10 years after saying, "Here, take this thing, keep it secret, keep it safe," and then just leaves.
Gandalf
um,
gives Gollum the ring.
no, he gives Frodo the ring. He gives Frodo the ring. Gollum gets the ring from his friend, who he immediately kills.
How does friend get it?
His friend got pulled into a river by a fish, and when he was underwater trying to get the fish, he saw a shimmer in the water. He picked it up, and it ended up being the ring.
Yeah, but how did it get in the fucking?
All right. Well, you see, Isildur, after he killed Sauron and didn't destroy the ring in Mount Doom, he then decided, I'm going to keep the ring. And so he was traveling from Mordor. I think he was going to Rivendell. He got ambushed on the road. He put the ring on. He jumped into the river. The ring expanded in size because it can do that because it didn't want to be with him anymore. It went into the water. He was no longer invisible. He was killed. It lived in the river for 3,000 years or 2,500 years.
Got it. I think you should just give me a synopsis.
I can absolutely do that. How long do you have?
No. maybe later. We're actually so Sarah and I are actually watching through that all of it right now.
I'm so proud of you guys.
We are gonna watch through all of the Lord of the Rings, which is super cool. She's always kind of wanted to watch it. I've seen it all in bits and pieces, never all once in a row.
Yep.
So this is gonna be really cool. But one really cool thing that I did come across, and I sent this to you, and you got really excited about this.
Yeah.
Was this perspective movie idea that was just kind of thrown out there on Twitter or X or whatever the hell you want to call it.
Oh yeah, because it's absolutely unhinged and hilarious. Just the concept of this movie.
So basically, the concept of this movie is that dragons reemerge in modern day Britain, but thanks to some long forgotten prophecy found, it tells people that only those who are knighted can slay dragons. So,
So,
that limits it to
like 90-year-old Ian McKellen, 91-year-old Patrick Stewart. I think Helen Mirren's been knighted. I think Judi Dench has been knighted.
So we're screwed. But like that would be that would be an amazing movie to watch.
It'd be so dumb.
It'd be so quick. It's a 10-minute mini short. Like
have you seen the Seth Rogen movie This Is the End?
Yes.
It's giving that, but like for fantasy.
It's giving that, but everybody's just about to explode into dust.
Yeah. They're all in wheelchairs and they all
everybody's in a wheelchair.
No, I was very excited about that. Just like it would never happen because you would never be able to get all of these people to agree at their advanced age. But also like just the thought of it alone is hilarious. The thought of it alone is absolutely hilarious. Oh God. How far have you guys gotten in your Lord of the Rings watch?
We're in the third Hobbit movie right now.
All right, great. That yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no, what?
Do you have anything else?
I do not.
I'm at my end, but that's gonna do it for this episode of the Roll for Next podcast. My name is Connor.
My name is Ian.
And
I can smell you.